Hey crafters, welcome to Paulette's Pretty Paper Crafts. It is March 2015. In February, I placed an order with Simon Says Stamp. They had sent me a $5 coupon when I placed an order at Christmas time that was good through the end of February. So I had to go and spend that. And I ordered this little Lawn Fawn Winter Sparrows stamp set. Isn't it just too cute? Even though it's a winter set, I thought that I could just make these birds as versatile as I need to. This one with the little earmuffs can just be listening to music. And this one with the little hat, I think you could put a little flower die cut right there and turn that into a summer hat. And then this one's got a little scarf, and of course that could be any springy pretty color like pink or blue or yellow, depending on what color you choose for your bird. And season tweetings, well, I can tell you I'm probably going to cut that in half. Couldn't you put Easter tweetings? I just think that it will be very versatile, more than just for winter. That little stamp set was $3.99. I ordered the matching die set, and I got to tell you, this was the only set I could find in the small sets that the stamps and the dies were both available at the same time. I desperately want the little Get Well set with the little nurse bird too. But these are so cute. There's a die for each of the birds, the music note, the leaf, and the branch. And I've colored these up just with some Copic markers. And I just think they're so sweet. I think you could just put them on any card. I've got some Saltbox Studio stamps that have some really sweet little bird sayings. You know, birds of a feather flock together, come perch on my porch, that kind of thing. So I think that you could just turn this into more than just winter. The little matching die set was $5.99. I also chose this Simon Says Stamp die set. When I placed that Christmas order, I had got the stitched journaling card die from Lawn Fawn. And it is a 3x4 die. And you know, I struggled between it and the W+9 holiday apertures, and I have ordered that as well. I received a lovely gift from W+9 for commenting on the 10,000th subscriber. So I will be sharing that coming up soon. And I can use the W+9 holiday apertures. Dies will fit right inside this to make a lovely frame, and so will that Lawn Fawn stitched journaling card. This fits exactly on an 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock and cuts that out very, very nicely. And will fit on the front of an A2 size card with just a little bit of border of the card base showing. So I think it'll be really nice for making building scenes. Nicole McGorick has been doing some amazing scenery cards and shaker cards. Gosh, I've been following her for quite a while, at least over a year. And she's been using some of the stitched die sets, so I had to start getting some of them. You know, I had resisted them for a really long time, and time's up. I can't resist them any longer. There's a really cute little heart, a nice little banner, this really nice tag, a stitched star, 2 stitched circles. Now, I just cut them like this, but wouldn't they be... You could even make a little wreath if you just cut both of them at the same time. You'd actually get double duty. You'd get a stitched, let's see, would you? No, you wouldn't get, it would just cut a circle in the center. And then you would have this little stitched dot from the center. But wouldn't those be cute? I think those would layer up really cute for flower centers. I've got a really big Sizzix flower die that those would be really fun. This heart is really cute, and of course love the little banners and tags. And then this nice big size banner, which is actually 3 inches tall, which would just really be cute. It's going to hold some chunky sentiments, so that will be really nice too. And there's one more die in this set, and it's just a straight cut with stitching, and I wasn't quite sure how I would use that. So I took the other half of this, so another 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of cardstock, and just laid it on here and run it through, and laid it on here and run it through. One thing I will tell you is if you just run it through the machine like this, it's really hard. It's a very abrupt boom for it to cut across that. So if you can angle your cardstock in the machine just a little bit so that the roller is on part of it and then continues, it's not so hard and it will go through your machine a lot easier. That's probably kind of tough on your machine. Mine is the Big Shot Express, which is the electric push button one. And boy, it was just boom, really hard on it when I just run it through, you know, exactly flat, flush, whatever you want to call it. So if you can angle that, it will go through the die cutting machine a whole lot nicer. So that whole die set was $23.99. The Winter Sparrow stamp set was $3.99. The Winter Sparrow dies were $5.99. They discounted the $5, which was taking just a little bit off of each item. Shipping was $6.99, so my total was $35.96. I'm so far behind that I just happen to have some examples of some of these stitched dies from Bundle of Stitch Shape by Simon Says Stamp. So here is that lovely tag die. Isn't it gorgeous? I probably could have tied something on here, but as I was making about 200 cards, I ended up not worrying about that on this card. I will be sharing all these cards at a later date, more in depth. Here is that nice 3-inch tall banner, and that's actually a Paper Tray Ink sentiment tucked right in there, and I was quite pleased with that. Here's another one. This is also that 3-inch tall banner. I had a penny black stamp that had this image that says, "I want to remember this over and over again," and I thought it went perfect with the best teacher ever. So that was really fun. And then that large rectangular die. What I wanted to do was impress, and this one actually is impressed. I used another die set on my feminine cards to impress a stitching line, and I'll be sharing that when I actually share the whole set of cards that I made. I made an extra set for myself, so I actually have one of each of the cards I made for myself to give out. So that turned out really well. Impressing that. It did take me a while to figure out the sandwich for my AccuCut Grand Mark. I don't have all the platforms I need for thin dies, and I'm not even sure. I don't even know if they make them. I know they have one for, it's like an embossing set, which is several platforms. And then here is where I actually did, when I was trying to figure out how to emboss it, I cut it a lot. So I had a whole bunch of those panels, and they fit with just a very small border on an A2 size card. And I just felt like that gave my masculine cards that had lots of white space, it just gave them a nice finished look, maybe a little bit more professional card. Here is that really small banner die as well, and I did have a stamp set that fit in there perfectly without any scissor cutting or anything. So you can use those little stitched bits for a whole lot. I actually ordered this set for that big rectangular panel. But I was able to incorporate that into a lot of my card making. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know.